Just unmute and tell us.
Hi everyone.
Hello, Philip.
I'm Philip Sakup. Yeah, I'm Philip Sakupkanya from Zimbabwe, and I am a land surveyor. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Philip. Anyone else?
Hey everyone, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, Lita, you're audible.
Hi, I'm Lilita Nyobo. I'm from South Africa. I'm a civil engineering technologist.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi everyone,
Hi, Collins.
I'm Engineer Collins from Kenya.
Welcome, Collins. Welcome.
Hi everyone,
Hi, Tinei.
I'm good too. I'm Tinei from Zimbabwe, a land surveyor.
Welcome. Welcome, Tinei. Welcome.
Hi
Hi
everyone.
everyone.
Okay. Caroline. Hello.
Yeah, hi. My name is
Hi.
Caroline Modoni. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
My name is Caroline Modoni from Kenya. I'm a civil engineer specialized in roads and bridges. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. Welcome.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Obesta.
I'm Obesta Mudazwase from Zimbabwe, civil engineer.
Welcome, Obesta.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Joseph.
My name is Joseph Mtunkwe. I'm in South Africa. I'm a civil engineer specializing in roads infrastructure. Thank you.
Welcome, Joseph. Anyone else?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Tapelo.
My name is Tapelo Hlungwane. I'm from South Africa. I'm a civil engineer. Thank you.
Welcome, Tapelo. Anybody else?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Gwai.
I'm Loslenko Squai from Zimbabwe, a geomatics engineer.
Welcome, Gwai. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Joseph.
I'm Joseph Kosgei from Kenya, a graduate engineer interested in pursuing highways engineering. Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Golizan.
Yes, I am Godlisten Lema from Tanzania. I'm a civil engineer. Thank you.
Welcome, Golizan. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Henry, are you trying to speak? Because I see you unmuted, but we don't hear anything.
Hi everyone. I'm Robert Mbugwe from Kenya, civil engineer.
Welcome, Robert. All right. Thank you for all who have made an introduction. I hope we keep this energy flowing throughout the whole session, the whole cohort, because your participation is key in finalizing this cohort, because we all learn. You can also bring your expertise. Some of you have worked in the field for a couple of years. So now that expertise from the field coupled with theoretical and software design will get something of value from this cohort. So if you allow me, I'm going to share a short video, and then after that, we'll have a short discussion before we we kick off the session. Thank you. Is my screen visible? Can someone please confirm?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
New roadway seems like a simple endeavor. You have 2 points to connect and you're trying to create a simple, efficient path between them. But there are lots of small decisions that make up roadway design, nearly every one of which is made to keep motorists safe and comfortable. Although many of us are regular drivers, we rarely put much thought into roads. That's on purpose. If you're thinking about the roadway itself at all while driving, it's probably because it was poorly designed. Either that or you, like me, are just innately curious about the constructed environment. If you put it in the context of human history and evolution, it's a remarkable thing we're able to put ourselves in metal boxes that hurtle away at incredible speeds from place to place. It's not entirely safe, but it's safe enough that most of the world chooses to do it on a regular basis. And the place that level of safety and comfort starts isn't immediately evident to the casual observer. Hey, I'm Grady, and this is Practical Engineering. On today's episode, we're talking about roadway geometrics and the shape of highways. This video is sponsored by Ting Wireless. More on that later. Designing a road is like designing anything complicated. There are a multitude of conflicting constraints to balance and hundreds of decisions to make. In an ideal world, every road would be a straight, flat path with no intersections, driveways, or other vehicles at all. We could race along at whatever speed we wanted. But reality dictates that engineers choose the maximum speed of a roadway based on a careful balancing act of terrain, traffic, existing obstacles, and of course, safety. If you're going to sign your name on a roadway design, and especially if you're going to choose a speed motorists are allowed to travel, you have to be confident that vehicles can traverse the road at that speed safely. That confidence has everything to do with the roadway's geometry. You would never put a 60 mile per hour or 100 kilometer per hour speed limit on a city street. Why? Because hardly any competent driver could navigate a turn that fast, let alone avoid a hazard, maneuver through traffic, or survive a speed bump. So how do we know what kind of road features are manageable for a given speed? There are 3 main features of roadway geometry that are decided as a part of the design: the cross-section, the alignment, and the profile. And there are fascinating details involved in each one. The first one, cross-section, is the shape of the road if you were to cut across it. The roadway cross-section shows so much information like the number of lanes, their widths and slopes, and whether there's a median, shoulders, sidewalks, or curbs. One thing you might notice looking at roadway cross-sections is that they're almost never flat. The reason is that a flat surface doesn't shed water quickly. This accumulation of water on the road is dangerous to vehicles, making roads slippery and creating more ice in the winter. So, nearly all roads are crowned, which means they have a cross slope away from the center. This accelerates the drainage of precipitation and keeps the surface of the road dry. But not all roadways are crowned. There's another type of cross slope that helps make roads safer. In curved sections, engineers make the outside edge higher or super elevated above the center line. This is also to help with friction. Any object going around a curve needs a centripetal force toward the center of the turn. Otherwise, it will just continue in a straight line. For a vehicle, this centripetal force comes from the friction between the tires and the road. Without this friction on a flat surface, there would be no way to make the turn at all. For example, if I roll this ball down a flat roadway, it's not going to go around the corner of the road because there's no traction. Rubber tires provide this traction against the road surface, but it's not entirely reliable. Rain, snow, and ice significantly reduce friction. Different weights of vehicles and conditions of tires also create variability. Rather than design every curve for the worst case scenario, it would be nice not to have to count on tire friction for this needed centripetal force. Super elevating a roadway around a curve reduces the need for tire friction by utilizing the normal or perpendicular force from the pavement instead. In my demonstration, if I get the bank angle just right, the ball goes around the corner perfectly, even without any lateral friction with the track. Banking roadways also makes them more comfortable because the centrifugal force pushes passengers into their seats rather than out of them. If the super elevation angle is just right and you're traveling at precisely the design speed of the roadway, your cup of coffee won't spill at all around the bend. Super elevation also helps reduce rollover risk by lowering a vehicle's center of gravity. If you pay attention on a highway, you'll notice that the crossslope changes direction on the outside of curves, and you go from a crown to a super elevation. The faster the design speed of the road, the higher the bank around the bend. The shape of curves themselves is the second aspect of roadway geometry I want to discuss. Just like super elevation, the radius of a curve has a significant impact on safety. The tighter the turn, the more the centripetal force needed to keep a vehicle in its lane. Crashes are most likely when radii are small, so engineers follow guidelines based on the design speed to make sure curves are sufficiently gentle. It's not only the curves that need to be gentle, but also the transitions between straight sections. At first glance, connecting circular curves to straight sections of roadway looks like a perfectly smooth ride, but forces experienced by vehicles and passengers are a function of the radius of curvature. So, if you go directly from a straight section, which has an infinite radius, to a circular curve, the centrifugal force comes on abruptly. Another way to think about this is by using the steering wheel. Every position of your wheel corresponds to a certain radius of turn. If straight sections of roadway were connected directly to circular curves, you would have to turn the steering wheel at a transition instantaneously. That's not really a feasible or safe thing to ask drivers to do. So instead we use spiral easements that gradually transition between straight and curved sections of roadway. Spirals use variable radii to smooth out the centrifugal force that comes from going around a bend, and they allow the driver to steer gradually into and out of each curve without having to make sudden adjustments. Even with all those measures to make curves safe and easy to navigate, drivers still usually have a little bit of trouble staying centered in a lane around a bend. This is partly because tires don't track perfectly in line with each other when turning, especially for large vehicles like trucks, but also because the forces are changing and that takes compensation. Because of this, engineers often widen the lanes around curves to provide a little more wiggle room for vehicles. This happens gradually, so it's relatively imperceptible. But if you pay attention on a highway around a curve, you may notice your lane feeling a little more spacious. One other important aspect when designing a curve comes from the simple but crucial fact that drivers need to see what's coming up to be able to react accordingly. Sight distance is the length of the roadway required to recognize and respond to changes. It varies by driver reaction time and vehicle speed. The slower you react and the faster you're going, the more distance you need to observe turns or obstacles and decide how to manage. Sight distance also varies by what's required of the driver. The amount of roadway necessary to bring a vehicle to a stop is different than the amount needed to safely pass another vehicle or avoid a hazard in the lane. Even if a curve is gentle enough for a car to traverse, it may not have enough sight distance for safety due to an obstacle like a wooded area. In this case, sight distance will require the engineer to make the curve even gentler.
All right, guys, I'm out. Have a great weekend.
Wait, you're leaving? We got to sign this project this morning.
Yep, all done.
The final aspect of roadway geometry is the profile, or vertical alignment. Roads rarely traverse areas that are perfectly flat. Instead, they go up and over hills and down into valleys. Engineers have to be thoughtful about how that happens as well. The slope or grade of a roadway is obviously essential. You don't want roads that are too steep, mainly because it would be hard for trucks to go up and down. You also want smooth transitions between grades for the comfort of drivers. But on top of all that, vertical curves also have the same issue with sight distance. Crest curves, the ones that are convex upwards, cause the roadway to hide itself beyond the top. If you're traveling quickly up a hill, a stalled vehicle or animal on the other side could take you by surprise. If that curve is too tight, you may not have enough distance to recognize and react to the obstacle. So, crest curves must be gentle so that you can still see enough of the roadway as you go up and over. Sag curves, the ones that are concave upwards, don't have the same issue. You can still see all of the roadway on both sides of the curve, or at least you can during the day. At night, things change. Vehicles rely on headlights to illuminate the road ahead, and sometimes this can be a limiting factor for sight distance. If a sag curve is too tight, your lights won't throw as far. That has the effect of obscuring some of your sight distance, potentially making it difficult to react to obstacles at night. So, sag curves need to be gentle enough to maintain headlight sight distance. Of course, there are different equations for all these different parts of roadway geometry that can tell you, based on the design speed and other factors, how much crown is required, or how high to super elevate, or the allowable radius of a curve, etc. Different countries and even different states, counties, and cities often have their own guidelines for how roadway design is done. And even then, the speed used by engineers to design the roadway isn't always the one that gets posted as the speed limit. There are just so many factors that go into highway safety, many of which are more philosophical or psychological than pure physics and engineering. It may seem like you can just plug in your criteria to some software that could spit out a roadway project in a nice neat bow. But to a certain extent, highway design is an art form. Designers even consider how the driver's view will unfold as they travel along. If you pay attention, you'll notice newer roadways are less of a series of straight lines connected by short curves and more of a continuous flow of gradual turns. This is not only more enjoyable, but it also helps keep drivers more alert. There are just so many factors and criteria that go into the design of a roadway, and it takes significant judgment to keep them in balance and make sure the final product is as safe and comfortable for drivers as possible. Not many of us are doing a lot of traveling right now, which means you're probably connected to a Wi-Fi network most of the time.
All right. I'll welcome 2 or 3 engineers to tell us the take from the video we just shared in relation to the cohort that we're in and the training. Anyone? Just feel free to unmute and tell us. Anyone?
Sir, could you please repeat your question?
I said, based on the video we just watched, can anyone tell us what is their take on that video in relation to the training that we are going to start today?
Okay. Let me come in.
Yes, Tinay.
Okay. Thank you. From the video, we have seen how the design of the road is being influenced. For instance, we do design a road in such a way that it should shed water from it. It shouldn't be flat as it poses danger to the motorist. So it's one of the safety factors that influence the slope of a road. We have also seen the how the radius determines how the road should be. If the radius is too small, it means the curve is sharp and it poses a threat. It also affects the sight distance. But if the radius is big and the curves are connected in, let me call them S-curve, it means the road may be safer. Then we have also seen the sag curves, which affect the sight distance and the reaction time, especially during the night when the lights are being the distance, side distance is being limited due to sharpness of the said curve. Maybe I can end here. Thank you.
Thank you, Tine. That was a wonderful take. Just to add on what you just said, most of the curves, they depend on the design speed. So even if you are, especially in urban areas where you do not have that much room to design a big curve, so you'll have to reduce the design speed for you to be able to design that particular curve. We'll see more of that later as we continue the training. One more person.
Yes. For the vertical alignment, you also need, for the vertical alignment of the profile, when designing for the SAG curves, you need to factor in the illumination, the illumination at night, so that you ensure that the driver can be able to see the object ahead of them. So the SAG curves should not be too narrow, but rather wide, and it's also governed by it will be the slope that will govern there. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. That is true. Whenever you're doing design, you have to factor in safety of the drivers first. That's the most important factor among many, but safety should be at the top of your priorities. Anyone else? Before I give the mic to our lead engineer for today.
I've also found that it is imperative to design your roads with the straights and curves so that you keep the driver alert rather than having straight stretches.
I agree. People tend to wander, to have their thoughts somewhere else when the road is just straight. I agree. Simbarashe, I saw you wanted to speak also.
Yes, thank you. I think what I picked up from the whole video is that at the end of the day, all the things that were being explained in that video, I've learned that before you start any design, you must make sure that whatever you're going to do, the people who are going to be using that road, whether it's motorists or pedestrians, safety should always come first, because all the formulas that I saw being shown there and the examples being given, they had to, at the end of the day, they had to do with the issue of making sure that whatever you're going to do, whatever you're going to put on the road should actually be a safe thing so that motorists can drive properly on the road. So that's what I picked up from the whole video that was shown there. Thank you.
Thank you, Simbarashe. Thank you. All right. Without taking much time, I would like to welcome Engineer Blasius, who's going to lead us today in our session. Engineer Blasius.
All right. Thank you, Hans. Thank
Welcome.
you. All right. Yeah, so good evening. My name is Blasius Kipyego Chelimo. I'm a civil engineer here in Kenya. I'm also part of the road sub team, and I'll be the one taking you through the kickoff meeting today. I don't think we've had a chance. Oh, yeah, I was in the information session. So, yeah, for those who are not in the technical information session, let me take this opportunity to officially welcome you to the cohort Alpha 19 Civil 3D training for road design. And I hope that you're going to have an amazing time and you're going to learn from each other. I do believe I'm audible. So anytime I'm not audible, please just unmute, then you can let me know so that I don't keep talking to myself. Now, the main objective for today's session, or the objectives for today's session, is to just to give you some clarity on what you're getting yourself into, right? So we're also going to show you how we're going to offer the training in terms of our training approach. And from that, you'll get to now know how best you can be able to benefit from this training that you're going to offer, right? So for the next 5 weeks, you're going to do purely road design, and we would like you to get the best from the training. And that's why we are having this kickoff session. It's not a technical session. We're not going to start the design today, but we're just laying the ground for what you're going to have for the next 5 weeks. It's basically housewarming or just getting set for the training. And in that, I'm going to talk about the course outline. I'll be taking you through the course outline so that we can see some of the topics that we're going to cover. After that, we're going to talk about our approach. How are we doing the training, right? What's the training time? How many hours does it take, right? Yeah, after that, we'll be talking about our learning channels. I know you are onboarded by someone in the team who onboarded you guys. So yeah, we're using Telegram as our learning platform. But in that, we're going to show you the specific platforms or the channels that you should be in if you're going to benefit from this training. I think after that, I'll just be talking about the ground rules. We have a set of ground rules. From the introduction that we've had, we've realized that we have engineers from different places, right? So it will be good for us to work on the same page. For instance, the language that we're going to use is English, things like that, right? How you can get to interact with each other in the learning platform, that's Telegram. We understand that Telegram is not popular for these kind of trainings, but we've come to realize it's not as chaotic as someone will view it, because it has good, what do we call it? It has a good interface for just if you want to have a more, how can I put it now? It's structured, if I might say. It's not as WhatsApp, so that's why you're not using it. You're using Telegram because it's a bit structured, right? Just to reinstate the seriousness of the training, you're going to give you some sort of ground rules that we all need to follow so that we can have a productive 5 weeks. Apart from that, I'm going to share with you the resource center so that you can get to interact with some of the few things that we have in terms of road design and civil 3D. So we have a resource center where we've just dropped everything there: topo data, sample designs, all that, road design manuals, so you can get to go through them before the actual training. So with that, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen so that you can get to look at some of the things. So if you can, if you can see my screen, please type a 1 in the chat box. If you can see my screen, please type a 1 in the chat box. All right, thank you. Now, I'm going to start with the course outline. We'll be going through it briefly. The course outline is going to be shared, so you don't need to worry about that as well. Now, as I'm talking about the course outline, I'll be talking about our training approach. Now, when it comes to the training approach, let's talk about the days that we're going to have the training. So we normally have the training in 3 days, right? We have it on Tuesday, on Thursday, and on Saturday. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, right? Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So now the Tuesday and the Thursday class, they are meant specifically for new things, right? But the Saturday class, we call it a feedback session. So what a feedback session means is it's a session that we normally get to interact the trainers, the captains. I'll be telling you who a captain is, and of course, you now, the engineers that you're learning with us, right? So the session is to interact. We'll get to troubleshoot on some of the challenges that you're facing over the week, right? When doing the the deliverables. There's something called deliverables. We're going to talk about it as well. So that's it. On Tuesdays, you're going to learn new things. On Thursday, new things. But on Saturday, it's more of a recap. Then you also get to see where we are at. So if there's someone who is stuck somewhere, that will be your day to ask any questions that you might have. Then anyone in the meeting, like all of us now, can be able to help you out. So that's it. The time is from 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Oh, this is GMT. So it's 8 p.m. Kenyan time, 8 p.m. Nairobi time, right? 8 p.m. Kenyan time to 10 p.m. So it's a time like this, like the time we started the meeting, all the way to 10 p.m. It's 2 hours. 2 hours. We don't normally like to extend because you see people, it's time for all of us to rest. So we normally like to end it exactly at 10 p.m. Yeah, so that's that. Now, when it comes to the course outline, this is what we have. So we normally have these, this session on Monday, which is today's on Tuesday. So we should have had the session yesterday, but it's okay. The kickoff session is normally on Monday, so that on Tuesday we start the training itself. So now this Monday, this is the one that you're going to cover today, so don't worry about that. But now when it comes to the actual design work, right? Actually, the actual classes. So we'll be beginning with what we call the Civil 3D interface tour and 2D CAD drafting essentials. Someone might ask, how does this relate to road design? Okay, it doesn't, or it does. It can or it can't. So the reason why we're doing this is to just help you understand the interface, the software, the Civil 3D software interface, right? The user interface, in short. Because before you start using a tool, it will be good for you to know the basic functions of that tool, so that you can know what does what does what, right? So that's the essence for this Civil 3D interface tour class. Now, the 2D CAD drafting essentials will be at the tail end of that session, which is on Thursday now, because we'll want you to use some of the knowledge that you learned that day to just do a drafting of a box culvert, right? Yeah, so box culvert, you find it in roads. Normally you do the drafting, maybe if you're coming up with the shop drawings. So you'll get some quick how can I say? You will get the skill to just draft simple box culvert. It will be a twin cell box culvert, and we'll be going to draft it. Now, after that class, we'll be giving out what we call a project milestone, or we do call it a deliverable. That's the common name. We'll be giving out a deliverable. Now, a deliverable is, I don't want to call it an assignment, but it is an assignment because it will help you to test the skills that you have, or it will help you to know if you're actually getting something from the training. So let's say today we've done the user interface and the 2D drafting essential. We'll give you the same box culvert that was used in the training or in the 2-hour class. We'll now let you draft the entire all the sections of that box culvert, then submit the work for the captains to review. We really don't want, the reason why we're reviewing the work is not for us to maybe gauge your prowess or what. It's just for us to understand that you're learning something. And if you are lagging behind in maybe something, we'll not get also, we'll be able to help you better, right? So it's more of a feedback something, right? It's just to gauge how you're doing so that we can be able to help you well. But now it's also of importance to note that deliverable submission is mandatory. As much as it's for us to gauge how you're progressing, it's mandatory because I remember, I don't know if the onboarding form was shared. I may not be able to access it now, but at the tail end is a consent form that you go through, check it out regarding the submissions and the attendance. So it's mandatory. So that's on Tuesday. Then now on Thursday, which now, of course, if you are starting it on Thursday, it will mean that the next class will be on Tuesday or on Saturday, which is a feedback session. But I'm just going to go through the course outline. So disregard the now because we were supposed to start yesterday, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to follow this. It's still the same. So now the next class will be practical engineering survey. So after the drafting essentials, you're going straight to practical engineering survey. Now, when it comes to road design or any civil works, the backbone of it is the survey bit of it. You have to do survey of the existing ground for you to do any civil works, right? So now, when we'll be talking about the practical engineering surveys, we'll be talking about the survey procedures and the techniques, the survey data collection management, all that. We'll also be exploring the primary and the secondary sources of design. You find that sometimes you might not be able to go to the field. For instance, when you're doing the preliminary design, right? You're doing the preliminary design. So you might not be at that stage of going to the actual area of construction to pick the data, the topo data. So we'll show you how you can be able to extract secondary data from secondary sources, right? For just preliminary design. Then we'll be integrating Spatial Manager technology. We'll be showing you how to integrate this. So now, for those who've not been able to download the Spatial Manager, please, when you go to the link that was shared in the class, in the channel, I know there are a set of softwares that are displayed there. You have Civil 3D, you have Spatial Manager, you have Google Earth, then you have what you call the SWDTM. So make sure that you download all those 4 softwares, so that, because we'll be using all of them, right? We'll be talking about working with survey datasets and points, managing points with the description keys, survey databases, creating point tables, all that. Now, after that, we'll be giving you the second project milestone, right? We'll be giving you the second project milestone, which then again will will be needed to execute, then you submit your work for review. Now, after that, we'll be having a feedback session. So like we've said, every Saturday, we'll be having a feedback session. The feedback session is to just recap, right? To recap everything that we've done for that week. Then if you have any questions, you can get to us. It will be a one-on-one consultation with the captains. So you'll ask your question on that end, then a captain will be responding to you on this other end. If you wish to share your screen, you can still do that, right? We'll allow you to screen share so that you can explain your challenge way better, and we'll be able to understand and help you right there and then. Now, after that, we'll be going straight to now creation of the surface. So we call it existing ground modeling for civil works. So after picking that data, you have to take it to the software, then you model the ground. Basically, modeling the existing ground is just like it is, it's just getting the surface for where you're going to do your road, right? The elevation, all that. The surface will give you the elevations along that road, right? So we'll be doing introduction to thin surfaces. In roads, we normally use the thin surfaces. Surface build definitions and analysis. We'll be doing some bit of surface analysis. Creating surfaces for contours. DTM with Spatial Manager. Thin volume surfaces for earthworks estimation. We'll be doing QTO for excavation works. For instance, if you want to do the topsoil stripping surfaces, and how can you get to compare the surfaces, your existing ground and a topsoil stripping surface, all that, right? We'll be doing some catchment analysis, land divisions and parcels, creating topo maps and plans. Then the fundamentals of site grading. We might not be talking about this because this is something entirely different and it's not related to roads. Site grading is it's something entirely different, right? We do these. I know we have those engineers who specialize in this, and they can tell you that it's different from roadworks. And this one is tied to working with feature lines. So when someone talks about feature lines, you either experience, when you're doing roads, you'll only interact with feature lines when you go to corridor modeling, right? Feature lines are just lines that are in 3D. They carry the X, Y, and the Z. So you have the position X, Y, and also it will carry an elevation. And for you to interact with it when you're doing roads, you can only do that when you are in corridor modeling. But now when you talk about site grading, you interact with it a lot because we use feature lines for site grading. Yeah. So now after that, after the existing ground modeling, the next phase will be, of course, introduction to technical horizontal alignment design. but don't forget this project milestone. So by now, you know, after each class, we have a project milestone. After each class, we'll be having a project milestone, right? Now, this class for Introduction to Technical Horizontal Alignment Design, I'll say that this is the backbone for road design or the road geometric design. If you're talking about geometrics, horizontal alignment is the backbone of it all. And it's therefore prudent that you get to really understand horizontal alignment design. Yeah. If you master these, the rest will be easy for you, because from the start all the way to this, they're simple stuff. Horizontal alignment is simple as well if you get the basics. Just understand the basics, the rest will be flowing. So now when you talk about the horizontal alignment design, we'll be talking about the introduction to engineering principles of horizontal alignment, the design controls and criteria. What are some of the controls or the considerations that you need to account for before you do any horizontal alignment design, right? After that, now we'll be going to the software. We'll be doing the specialized alignment design tools. We'll be creating alignments from alignment layout tools, alignment from objects, all that. Then these are just edits, alignment labels. Then we'll be designing. The important bit of this module as well is where we'll be integrating our design to the design manuals, right? So we have design of simple curves as per road design standards, AASHTO 2011 and RDM. Now the RDM is just road design manual, and we'll be using the Kenyan road design manual for this particular training, right? Design of transition curves, road widening and offset alignments, design of compound curves, design of reverse curves, super elevation modeling, right? Super elevation modeling, generate alignment incremental. Okay, this is just outputting, this reporting. So we might do it at this stage or at the tail end of the training when we'll be doing the plan and production and report management, right? After that, we'll be having a project milestone. So for the horizontal alignment, we'll be having 2 or 3 classes because it's bulky. So we'll not be covering it in one class, right? So we might have a class on Tuesday or Thursday, then we cement it on Saturday during the feedback session, right? Cool. Now on Saturday, design project presentation. So another important aspect of this feedback session is project presentation, right? We do encourage that you present your projects so that you explain to us maybe what's your design, how you did your design, right? From the first stage up to where you are, especially when it comes to horizontal alignment. By doing that, you'll see you'll be building the presentation skills. Again, you'll be learning because from experience, when you present your work to people and you explain your thought process to someone, it will help you actually identify mistakes by your own in your design, right? No one needs to point out that something is wrong. Just by presenting it to someone, you'll be picking new things, and also you'll be learning as you do your presentation. So we'll be doing all that: design standards, compliance and safety audits, one-on-one consultations with the captain. Yeah. Then after that, now the next stage will be integration of design criteria and design checks as per the road design manuals, right? This is where we'll be doing all those design checks. Is your design, is your horizontal alignment meeting the guidelines given in the manuals, right? So introduction to horizontal alignment design specification, AASHTO. The first principle of design specification, specifying design criteria of alignments as per AASHTO and RDM specifications. So you don't need to worry about this that much, because when we'll be doing the horizontal alignment design itself, before we do it, we'll be taking you through the design requirements, the design guidelines that are in the design manuals. Actually, our approach to the training is we'll be using the manuals as our guidelines, right? So if I'm going to do, or maybe I'm taking you through horizontal alignment design, what I'll do first is I'll go to the manual, I take you through the theory there so that you know what you're looking for, right? If I'm going to design a straight, what are some of the things that will guide horizontal or straights in horizontal alignment, right? We have things like the maximum straight, the minimum straight, all that, right? I'll be taking you through that. if it's a curve, what are some of the things that will guide an horizontal curve in horizontal alignment? The radius of that curve. What controls the radius of the curve? So those are the things that we'll be talking about. So that will be that module. Then on Thursday, now we'll be going to vertical alignment. Please also note the order of all this. We say that we start with getting the lay of the land using this user interface. Then we go to topo or the the engineering surveys where you get your data. After doing the surveys, you go to now modeling your ground. Then you design your horizontal alignment. Then you design your vertical alignment. So these are step-by-step procedure that you do road design, right? You cannot skip one stage, then you go to the next one. No, you have to follow these steps as they are, right? Now, so the next one is the vertical alignment design. In this, we'll be introducing you to technical design of vertical alignment of roads. We'll be doing a review of road design manuals, right? Then we do the profile creation now. We'll be creating the surface profile. Then now we'll be creating the profile itself. We have something called the surface profile. Then we have the road profile or the FRL, right? Then we'll be doing, of course, just the profile view, annotations, styles, just manipulation. That's not something major. Design of finished road level as per the road design manual specification. This is the important bit when it comes to vertical alignment design. Apologies. Allow me to pick this. It's my dad. Sorry. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was talking about the FRL design. That's the most important bit for that. Then design of vertical curves, the site distances, all that. Design of and location of culvert crossing on your profiles. Yes. So you're also going to help you in understanding how you can be able to place culverts along your road. How can you tell that you need a culvert at this specific location, right? Create and modify detailed custom profile data bands. We have what we call data bands. That data bands help you in adding flesh to your graph. You see, a vertical alignment is just a graph of the X and Y, which is the horizontal distance against the levels or the Y-axis, right? Or the Z in that man. It's the Z actually, the elevations of your road. So now, if someone wants to get some information from your the profile view, they are not able unless you add something that we call a data band, because that data band will have the chainages, that's the stationing. It will have the levels for the final road level, the levels for the existing ground as is, and if you wish, you can also have the difference between the two in the data band. So if someone looks at your plan and profile, they can be able to extract some information just from that graph, right? Specifying design criteria and design checks, of course. Then projecting objects to profile views, generating design data and implementation report. Then we'll be giving out another project milestone. Then, of course, on Saturday, we have a feedback session. Then now the next module is, after you're done with the vertical alignment, we go straight to what we call the corridor modeling and pavement design, right? Corridor modeling and pavement design. So we'll be taking you through the fundamentals of pavement design, creating the assembly for urban road and rural roads. After that, we'll be doing the actual corridor modeling. Then we'll do corridor edits and target mapping. We will do design of corridor objects, corridor transitions. Let's say you're having a bus bay, how can you approach that, right? All that, code set styles and personalization. So now these are the personalization and the code set styles comes when you are at cross sections as well, when you're doing your road cross sections, right? Then design project visualization, you can do that when you drive through your corridor. After that, the next bit is the quantity takeoff and cost estimation for roadworks, right? So now up to this bit, up to the vertical alignment, you'll be done with most of the design work. From corridor modeling going forward, it's mostly the software will be doing the work for you. It's just you to know what you need to do for the software to give you an output. Yeah, that's basically it. For instance, the quantity takeoff, we'll be talking about the value engineering, cost estimation for roadworks, right? The quantity takeoff criteria will be doing the quantities for the cut and fill, all that. Then we'll be generating our reports based on the quantity takeoff criteria that we have, right? After that, we'll have a feedback session, of course, for those. Then the next session now is what we call the design of detailed road cross sections, right? Under the design of detailed road cross section, we'll be creating sample lines and sections, creating multiple road cross sections, code set styles again, annotate and modify your section views, all that, detailing for road cross section, all that. So basically, this one is you're generating cross sections that will be used on site to actually construct the road, right? Then after that, we'll be having the last session now, which we call drawings production and data management. Under the drawing production, it's just producing your work now. You see, as much as you can do the basic design on CAD or in the software, it cannot be used anywhere unless you output your work, right? Unless you can be able to output your work so that someone can print it and use it, right? So that will be the last session. Drawing production and data management. We'll also be talking about the reports that you can be able to generate on that. Then we'll be having one last feedback session. Then we'll call it training, right? Then you can be able now. Now, for you guys, I know that's just a quick walkthrough through the course outline. So if someone has a question regarding this, you can ask. And I'll also encourage you to write down all your questions that you have so that as you're progressing with the design or the learning or the modules, if you have any questions in one module, you make sure that before you proceed to the next module, that question has been answered, right? Yeah. So you can, if you have any questions at the moment, of course, I'm not going to answer specific questions that are maybe you're asking about something specific. How can I do this and this? I'm not going to answer it now unless we reach that module, right? So it will be important that you note it down so that if you have any, so that before we proceed or before we pass that module, you've seen that it's in an order. So you can, let's say you've done some road design, right? But you have a specific challenge. How do you get to tie levels when you are designing a new road and there's a certain point that it's supposed to tie with an existing road that has been paved? How can you do that? So if you have such a question, you just note it somewhere. Then when you'll be doing the FRL design, the vertical alignment design, you can be able to ask that question and we'll be able to address it. I think that's all when it comes to the course outline. So I'll pause for a minute so that I can take any question before we proceed to now the learning platforms.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
I just wanted to check on this training course. Are we also going to touch a little bit on intersection design?
Thank you. That's a good question. No, for this course, we're not going to do the intersection design. We do have a course for that, but it's not, I don't know when it's supposed to start. I'm not sure unless I confirm with the team, but we're not going to do any intersections in this.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Simbarashe. I don't know if this is the same name or you're the same guy because we've had Simbarashe before. Maybe Hans.
I remember him. You're talking about Simbarashe Mututa. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is another Sibarashi.
Oh, nice. It's
And
good to have you.
to add on what Blesha said concerning the intercession, currently we have the roundabout design course which starts today. That is so far the intercession course we have this year, unless there's another that will be scheduled for later. We'll let you know through our channels. Thank you.
Thank you, Hans, for clarifying that. Yeah. So now allow me to proceed to the next bit, which is the community and the channels. So the learning platform, we have what we call the learning platform, and also the class meeting platform, right? It's important to note the difference. So the meetings will be having them via Zoom, right? Like you're doing now. So we'll be having them via Zoom. And now that I'm on that, please make sure that when you join the meetings, you just rename your username or your Zoom. How's the name? It's your Zoom username, if I'm not wrong. Yes, to your official name so that we can be able to track who is joining the meeting. But it's a good sign because when I look through the participants in the meeting, we've all used our official names. So it's a good sign. Sometimes you can log in using a different, maybe your phone, and maybe your phone, you've not set Zoom in your phone. So it will pick the name of the phone. So you'll see iPhone 14, you see, and you don't know who that is. So it becomes a little bit problematic. Even if you ask a question, you'll be seeing Lenovo is asking a question, right? Yeah, so please, there's that. Same goes to Telegram. So now Zoom is for the meetings, but the learning platform will be sharing the resources. It's Telegram, right? Now, same thing goes to Telegram in regard to the username. Please use your official names, preferably 2 names. Then after that, you can just get to switch back after the training. You can switch back to whatever names you're using there. Now, when it comes to Telegram, we have three, I can say platforms or channels. We have 3. So I think I'll share my screen once more. Now, so when it comes to Telegram, we have 3 groups that you need to join. The first one, of course, I believe all of you are in that group, because if you've paid for the course or if you've committed to the course, you must be, or you must have been onboarded through the Civil 3D, this one, Cohort Alpha 19 Civil 3D for Road Design Training. So this is what we call the main channel. So this is the first channel that you are added to. So I'm going to talk about these channels and what is the, what's their purpose. For instance, the main channel, this is the main platform for communication, right? So this is where you're going to share everything, be it class meetings, you'll find them in this channel, right? Be it additional resources that you need to check on, it will be in this channel. The class recordings, it will be in these channels. And now the class, the recordings, you have the class recordings, like the one we are recording now. That's the 2-hour recording. Then you also have short recordings, right? So after each module, let's say you've done the 2D drafting, right? After we are done with that, after 2 hours or 3, you're going to share the full class recording. We'll be sharing it as a link so that you can be able to click on the link, then you can access the recording. On top of that, we're going to share additional recordings or short recordings, maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes recording that are specific to something, right? Specific to something. Reason being, you might be stuck at some point. You don't need to go back and rewatch the entire 2-hour recording, but you can still go to the short recordings, peruse, or just look at them. They normally have a description down there. So if you're facing a challenge in annotation, you'll find, or in doing the multi-leaders, you'll find a short recording, a 5-minute recording, showing you how you can play along with your multimedia style manager. Multi-leader style manager, I mean. Right? Yeah, so we call them additional short recordings. They'll be shared in the main channel, right? So we've talked about the class meetings, any communication, the class recordings. The resource center also is in the main channel. So we're going to share the resource center as well. Yes. Something else is this, just the reminders for the classes will be shared there. I don't think we have anything else. Of course, the link to the softwares is also in the main channel. So you have to make sure that you are in the main channel if you've committed the course. And I think all of you are. So you make sure that you are part of this. If you're not, please just text us, then we can be able to sort you out. Make sure that you're onboarded. So everyone who was onboarded, there's a link that was shared to you and it's to this channel. That's the first one. We have the second one, which we call the discussion forum. Now, from the look of things, when you look at this channel, you can see that the messages there are only from the road sub team, right? Yeah, you cannot, the trainers cannot be able to text in this channel, but you can still interact in a discussion forum. For instance, when you go to this, the first message, you can see there's a comment down below. When you open the comment, you see someone was reacting. That's Engineer Brilliant, right? So the reason they're able to react or to comment is because they are in the discussion forum. So Engineer Hans, please share the forum link. There's that link that has been shared in the main channel. So for those who are in the main channel, please just click on that link. It will take you straight to the forum. That's where you can be able to interact. When you join that, yes, thank you, Jose. When you join that forum, you can be able to interact with any of the texts that we'll be sharing. Thank you, Philip. So we can just get to join the forum in real time. Thank you, James. Cozy, thank you. Please, let's join the forum quickly, because that's the only way you can be able to interact with any messages that will be shared in the main channel. Cool. So I believe you'll be able to join as time goes by. Suresh, you are asking for the link. Please, Hans, help him out. You can share Fabiola's name so that you can...
Just now I joined. Sorry for my delay. Could you please reshare, sir?
All right. We'll get you sorted so that we'll make sure that you join the main channel. So we'll get you sorted.
Sorry, just need to check in.
Yes.
I'm not joined in these groups. So I just need to check, do I need to pay something to join these groups or the Telegram?
If you've paid for the course, then a link will be shared to you for the main channel. That's basically the onboarding. The onboarding is where once your payment has been confirmed, a member of our team will reach out to you. They'll share the main channel link. So if you've made the payment and you're yet to be onboarded and you're in communication with any one of us, just text us. We'll be able to sort you out.
Noted.
Cool. So Hans, you can also share your number, my number, or Fabiola's so that they can be able to be helped. Cool. Now that's for the main channel. After the main channel, you join the forum using that link that has been shared there. Now we have an extra forum that we call the Deep Cube, right? As you can see, I'm having 2 Deep Cubes. A Deep Cube is a small community for engineers to interact. So like, let's say in the training, maybe you are 40 in number. We normally split the 40 engineers into small groups. Each of the groups will be led by a captain. One of the captains, Engineer Hans, is one of the captains. The reason why we have the captains is to offer timely feedback to your work, to help you whenever you're feeling stuck, so you can easily reach us. Just text in the Deep Cube. If you have our contacts, you can also get through call. But now when you call in work hours, please. Right? So there's that. So the Deep Cubes for these group, we're going to have 2. Yes, for a start, we're going to have 2 Deep Cubes. So Engineer Hans, you can share the Deep Cube list first. So now the Deep Cube list, this is what we have. So these participants, 15 of us, these are the participants that have been confirmed, that have already paid for the course, right? Now, you're going to have a link to Deep Cube 1. where we'll only expect these 7 participants to join. Then we are going to have a link to DeepCube 2, we are going to expect only these 8 participants to join. So Hans, please share the link for DeepCube 1, where I'll expect these engineers to join. Joseph, we have 2 Josephs. Yeah, I don't know if it's a good idea to have them in one DeepCube, but that's okay. You can just join there. So please let us join. Please only join if you are in that DeepCube, please. Only join if you are in that DeepCube. Now I don't know how to do this. Probably I should have one at the top. Oh, okay. It's embarrassing me, but that's okay. So please, only those engineers, please join that DeepCube. Engineer Joseph Mutungwe, Joseph Kimurgor Kosgei, please. James Mwangi. This name is difficult. Please, Engineer Guai, please join that DeepCube. Paul Lema, Philip, and the last one, Lilita Nyobo, please join DeepCube 1. Only those, please. Engineer Kolo, is Collins there or it's the username? So I'm not sure, please. Please make sure you confirm. So please just join the DeepCube that you've been assigned to, right? So I can see John, we have James, thank you. Guai, thank you. Godi Paul, brilliant. So perhaps you need to rename or you change your username to your official names. Jose Mutugwe, thank you. Lilita Nyobo, thank you. Engineer Kolo as well. Maybe you can change your username so that we can know who you are. Philip, thank you. I think that's in order. So for DeepCube 1, that's it. Hans, you can remove the link for DeepCube 1 so that we go to DeepCube 2. And now Engineer Hans will be the one that will take you through, or will be your captain for DeepCube 1. Perhaps he can say something. I know he has already he was with us, but maybe you can just say 1 or 2 to welcome your members.
I welcome you all for those who have joined DeepCube 1. Even if you're not in DeepCube 1, you can always reach out to me. I will be here to assist in whatever way I can. I look forward to learning together with you and growing together. So come with an open mind, because learning is a process. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Engineer Hans. Thank you. Now let's go to DeepCube. Hello?
Yes, excuse me. Pardon. I think you already deleted the link for DeepCube 1. I'm sorry, I didn't have a chance to join with it. I had a bit of technical issues.
All right,
Could I have
let me
only-
reshare it again.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Hans. As you're resharing that, we can give you a minute, then we go to DeepCube 2. For those who are yet to be onboarded, there's a number that has been shared in the chat box. You can just get to copy that number, you text them. That's Fabiola. You let them know that you've not yet been onboarded. She will sort you out promptly.
Engineer Blitus, can you please assist in reading the names for DeepCube 1 again? So
Okay.
as they can
So
know
for-
if they're in the right DeepCube or not, for those who have
So-
joined.
Okay, for DeepCube 1, we have Joseph Mutungwe, we have Joseph Kimurgor Kosgei, we have James Mwangi Ndungu, we have Engineer Guai, Paul Lema, Philip Sakupwanya, yes, Sakupwanya, then Lalita Nyobo, please. The 7 of you, you should be in DeepCube 1. Cool, now let's go to DeepCube 2. So you can share also the link for DeepCube 2. We have Engineer Francis, right? We have Engineer Collins Ochieng. So Kolo, probably you should be in DeepCube 2, right? Cool. Then we have Engineer, these names are really difficult. I think this should be Tapelo, right? We have Engineer Muhammad Abdullahi Hamed, Simbarashe Samuel, Henry Junior, please. Caroline Muthoni, Gitai, Engineer Robert Mbugua. Please join DeepCube 2. The 8 of you should be in DeepCube 2, right? Thank you, Engineer Collins. Thank you for clarifying that. So
Sorry.
you can leave DeepCube 1. Yes,
Sorry.
someone has a question. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's Tanay. It's unfortunate that I joined late, so I'm not assigned to any of the groups.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry. If you're not in the DeepCube list and you've already been onboarded, we'll keep updating the list. So by the time you're going to have our first session, you'll know your DeepCube and we'll be able to share the link with you so that you can join your respective DeepCube, right? Yeah, so don't worry.
Noted.
Cool. Let me confirm. Let me just reread the names for DeepCube 2. We have Engineer Francis Gatiringana. Now these names are difficult. Engineer Collins Ochieng, Tapelo Lungwani, Muhammad Abdullahi Ahmed, Simbarashe Samuel, Henry Junior, Caroline Muthoni Gitai, and Robert Mbugua. Please, let's make sure that we join DeepCube 2. Now, I'll be the captain for DeepCube 2, so I'm going to welcome you again. Please, let's just interact in the DeepCubes. There is nothing much I can say. Post as many questions as you can. And also, please, if you know or if you can help your fellow engineer in doing something or finding a solution to something, you're free to respond, right? You're free to respond. Let's not make the DeepCube or the entire training look like a pyramid or something where you're only waiting for someone to give answers or you're only looking up to someone. No, that's not the case when it comes to engineering, right? Engineering is sharing knowledge. Share what you have. Share the little that you have. Then from there, someone is going to improve that or someone is going to add something on top. And at the end of the day, you'll find that you've come up with something amazing. And that's the entire reason why we have the DeepCubes, so that we can have to interact at that level, right? Just a small community of people or of peers who are trying to find solutions to problems, right? Yeah, so don't shy away from asking questions, from answering questions, or from reaching out to your fellow engineers. You might open someone's drawing and see that he or she is doing some amazing work. It's good to ask them their approach. It's good to text them. Then you can be able to learn and grow together. Thank you. Now, the reason for the DeepCubes is that to interact at a smaller level. But if you find that whatever you're asking is not being answered there, you can shoot it in the forum for the entire or for the larger community. The second thing is the deliverables, those modules that we talked about, or the project milestone that we talked about, right? All of them are shared in the DeepCube. So the deliverables, you share them in the DeepCubes. We have a format of sharing them. You just don't throw them there, or you just don't just drag and drop them. We have a format that you need to follow when submitting your work. So we'll be talking about that in the next session when we'll be giving out the first deliverable. But it's important to note that the deliverables are shared in the DeepCube, not the forum, the chat forum, in the DeepCube. Cool. I think that's all when it comes to the DeepCubes or the learning platforms. So you only need 3 channels. The main one, the training forum, and your DeepCube. Only 3, right? Cool. If you wish to arrange them in this manner, there's a way you can do it. So you can just create a folder. I'm going to share, I think we have a recording for how to do that. But ideally, if you have some, you can see mine, I have some order. I have cohort 19, 18, 17. You can get to group the charts. So for you, you'll be having 3. You can group them into 1. For instance, I can delete this, remove, so that we can create. Now, for me, ideally, a Telegram should look like this. If you are in a lot of channels, it should look like this. So it can be chaotic. But if you wish to arrange them, just go, if you have some folders, go to edit. If you don't have, I think there's a button for creating a folder. Then you can go to create new folder. So these are the folders that I have. So yeah, you can create a new folder where you can call it cohort 19. Right? Then you can be able to add charts, right? You can now be able to, add charts. So I'll be adding the charts for cohort 9. So I'll just search them, cohort 19. So I have these 4 charts: the main channel, discussion forum, and the deep cubes, right? So the thing is, you cannot select all of them, so you have to keep searching. So I can just do that. Let's try this and see what happens. Yeah, I can do that. Just say save, create, right? Then you can be able to close this, and just like that, you'll have that forum there, or that folder there, so that you can easily move from one to the other one, right? All that. Cool. That's all in regard to the training forum, unless someone has a question. Regarding that. All right, cool. Let's go through the last thing that we need to look at. That's the rules. And before that, maybe just through the resource center. Then we go to the rules, then we call it a session. You can be able to relax early. So now allow me to reshare my screen so that we can look through the resource center. Remember I said that we're going to give you access to the resource center. Crazy. Yeah, I think this is the one that I was looking for. So we have these Civil 3D Resource Center. Now, for those who are yet to be onboarded or who are not in the Telegram channel, you don't need to worry, because Telegram will keep the messages. So if you come tomorrow, you'll find the links to the resource center, all that, right? So I've shared something there. That's the link to the resource center. So this is it. Esteemed engineers, learning without reading resources and manuals is hearsay. You become an engineer specialized assumptions. You become an engineer specialized assumptions. To avert these, we have created a resource center that has curated resources to help you understand and integrate engineering principles and specifications in your design. So some of the things that are in the resource center, we have the road design manuals, the highway engineering handbook, the Civil 3D notes, Civil 3D training manual, the AASHTO 2004 and 2018, sample drawings from past participants, survey data, GIS data, sample site instructions, LinkedIn for engineers checklist. That's if you want to maybe revamp your LinkedIn, all that. So yeah, there's a link there. When you click on it, it will take you to the Google Drive where you have all those. So take your time to go through our Civil 3D Resource Center. This is where you'll get all the resources for the training. Please, there's something here. Please do not cut or move the materials, for they are to be used by all of us. You can download and save them in your computer. So when you click on that link, it will take you to this drive where you can be able to check all that. You can be able to download anything that you want from. So to download, just go to this, then you can be able to download anything that you need. That's the resource center, right? Now, then after that, let's talk about the ground rules now, right? Let's talk about the ground rules so that we finalize the meeting. Now, this is it. Sorry. So this is it. So I'll just be reading them. I'll be reading them. So, dear engineers, welcome to our community, or your community in that case now. This is a diverse community of engineers from around the world. It is a great opportunity to learn, work, and network, right? So a bigger part for this program will be following instructions. You must be willing to be guided. You must execute tasks as directed. You must be willing to embrace feedback and work on the recommendations. Now, this is important. This is really important because from experience, or from the 18 cohorts that we've had so far, some of the best engineers that come out of the training are those who are able to work on the feedback given to them, right? You see, the captain can tell you there's something wrong with your design. You can change this to improve your design. There's that one engineer who will go back to the design and try to rectify that. And also there's that engineer who will say that I already know where the problem is. In my next design, I'm going to effect that. Trust you me, the person who went back to the design and did the modifications is the one that is going to learn, as opposed to the other one. So please just always work on the feedback. If we give you feedback, work on it, you can resubmit, then everything will be good. Here are the rules of interaction and engagements. The language of communication shall be English, please, shall be English. The tone shall be professional, inspirational, and enthusiastic, right? The members are expected to work in a spirit of harmony and inspire teamwork. That's why you have the deep cubes, right? Our teamwork will start at the deep cube. You shall receive the Ultimate Engineer newsletter every day at 6 p.m. These are just the inspirational messages that Engineer James normally shares. So if you are subscribed to the Ultimate Engineer newsletter, you'll get them in your mail. We normally also share them in the channel. So if you like to read, you can just read through those. These will be an interactive session. Text your queries, clarifications, or share informative educational content, right? Like we've said, we don't have any sort of a pyramid scheme here where we're waiting for someone to show you something. If you have a cool way of doing something, you have a faster way of doing something, you know a few tricks, teach the rest, share with someone, right? Yeah, we already know we do not know. Do not let imposter syndrome steal this opportunity from you. Yeah, sometimes I know sometimes you might find that you are in a group of experienced engineers. Someone has 20 years experience in the field. So if you have zero or none, don't share away, right? That's the reason why we've come here to learn, right? Actually, for you to be able to learn something, you must accept that you don't know it, right? Like you don't know what you want to learn for you to be able to learn it. Now, if you let the imposter syndrome take control, it means that you're not going to learn anything. Following instructions is the bigger part for this program. Do as asked and you'll succeed, ignore and fail. It is mandatory for all participants to attend 100% of the sessions. It is mandatory for all participants to work and submit project milestones in the prescribed format. We'll be talking about that tomorrow in the next class. It is also mandatory for all participants to complete daily checklist provided. For this, I'll say if we give you the deliverable, we normally, maybe deliverable one will have maybe 4 tasks. It's good for you to be able to do all of them. We'll have a design challenge at the far end of the program. So that will depend. This shall be the bidding. Yeah, I think that's that. That's that. There's nothing more down there. You can just read that and you can be able to understand. I believe that's all when it comes to the kickoff session. Yeah, and that's the end of my presentation. I'll now stop sharing and pause for a minute so that I can take any questions if they are before I give back the meeting to Engineer Hans. Cool. If you don't have any questions, I'll give the meeting back to Engineer Hans. And see you in the next class.
Thank you, engineer. Thank you for that session. And I wish you all the best. And please make sure you download the softwares. And after you download them, reach out to Captain Wes so as he can guide you through the installment of the softwares. Also, if you are yet to be onboarded, I shared the number of Fabiola in the chat box. Please save it and reach out to her so as she can onboard you to the channels and also assign you to a DeepCube. So please just do that. If you're yet to be onboarded, reach out to Fabiola. She's going to onboard you to the channels and also assign you into a DeepCube. I hope that is clear. Any question?
Sir, this is Suresh.
Yes, Suresh.
Actually, I made a payment on 9th of this month. My name is not in the list at all. Could you please verify, sir?
No worries, no worries. If it's not on the list, don't worry. That's why I said, please reach out to Fabiola. Do you have her number?
Yeah, I texted her.
Okay. If you have texted her, then she's going to put you on the list. So since our next class is on Tuesday, everybody who's here will be on the list by Tuesday and also be on the main channel. I hope that is understood.
Understood, sir. Thanks for the
All right. Yes, Philip?
Hi, sir. You
Hi.
have just mentioned that our next lecture is on Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
All right, noted.
Yes, Mbarashe?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to check on the link that you have sent for the downloading of the software. Is it for all the softwares that were mentioned during the presentation, like your global mapper, or I see it's only for Civil 3D? The one I'm seeing on the group.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to check, is that link, is it only for Civil 3D, or is for the other softwares that we are also going to be using there?
Wait a moment, please. There's a link I shared while around
Hans,
2013. Yes.
I think I can be able to respond to that. Yes, the link is for all the softwares. So when you open the link, you'll find that you have Civil 3D setup. There are three. So you only download one, whichever works for you, 2025, 2024, or 2026. Then you can do the Google Earth Pro. Then you also have the Spatial Manager and the SWDTM. So you should be able to download 4 softwares there.
Okay, but if I already have my Civil 3D, there's no need for me to download the Civil 3D.
Yes. So you only do the 3.
Okay,
Fine.
no, thank you.
All right. Any more question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Tapelo.
I just have one question. I see on the link that was provided, there's only 3 Civil 3D 2024 and 2025 and 2026, right?
Yes.
So both of them, they work the same or they are different?
Okay. If you are available for the information session, Captain West took you through the technical specifications. And based on that, the three are there because 2024, they all work the same, but they differ with the requirement of the minimum requirement for a particular machine. Okay. For instance, we are having 2027, I think, already out, but I currently am still using 2025 because currently my laptop supports if I download and install the other versions of the Civil 3D, it's going to take a toll on my laptop. So I decided to stick with 2025. But basically 2024, 25, 26, I'm not sure of 27, but 24, 25, 26, they all have the same features and work perfectly for these training purposes. So you
Okay,
can
no.
just choose whichever thing suits you.
Okay, no, it's fine. I understand. Thank you for the clarity.
All right, welcome. Yes, Mbarashe?
Thank you. I just wanted to check again. These extra softwares like your Spatial Manager and the SWTTM, are they add-on softwares on the Civil 3D?
Yes, yes, and you're going to use them.
So when I download them, are you going to give us the installation process in terms of how they are going to be added on Civil 3D, or as soon as I download them, when I open my Civil 3D, they should be there? I just wanted to check. Is there?
Please take a note. Once you download the softwares, reach out to Captain Wes for help with the installations. Once you download them, reach out to Captain Wes. He's going to assist you with the installations.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Engineer Nyasha?
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to ask about the training times. Kind of missed that part. Thanks.
All right. The trainings are going to be conducted on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and the time will be 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. East African time. I hope that is understood. 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. East African time on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Engineer Henry, you're not audible. You could also write your question on the chat box. I think there's a technical issue in your end because you're not audible on our end. As we wait for Engineer Henry to write a question, anybody else with another question?
I'm asking about the softwares.
Mm-hmm.
Will we still have the softwares operating after the training, or after the training, we want to be able to access them apart from the Civil 3D?
Okay. As far as I know, I think you'll have around a 1 month period to use them, if I'm not mistaken. Please confirm with Captain West once you contact him for the installations. He's the one who handles all installations. I hope that is understood. Okay, I've seen Engineer Henry's question on the road markings. Currently, based on the training schedule, the road markings was we usually do it in the roundabout and intersection course due to how compacted this training is. So in order to keep it that we get the full grasp of the training, that part was left out on the road markings. Engineer Lita is asking if outside the course and in our day-to-day work we run into real life civil 3D challenged or get stuck on certain tasks, will there be an opportunity to reach out for guidance and support from your team? Yes, you can always reach out to any of the captains and we'll be happy to assist you. Just text us in our inboxes. We'll be ready to assist you. Anyone else another question? All right. If there's no any other question, then I would love to end this meeting at this juncture. And I wish you all have a lovely evening and see you on Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.